Hi everyone, my name is Sukaja and I'm so glad that you're here for another video. It's already the end of April and I can't believe that 4 months of the year have already passed. To be honest, I didn't read much at all in the first 4 months of the year. I think April was not the best reading month. Literally just read one book in April. So hoping that May will be much more promising, although I'm not sure how that's going to turn out because I have a lot of things happening on the work side as well as life side as well. Let's see. As you guys know, I'm just going to be talking about the one book that I read in the month of April. But first, let's recap. So where I left off in the month of March was that I had read Dear Mrs. Bird by this author called AJ Pearce. AJ Pearce, somebody I knew nothing about, literally just walked into one of the independent bookstores near where I live and picked up this book because I found the blurb really interesting. Now, I'm not somebody who has done this a lot because ever since I joined Instagram and YouTube, I've always depended on other people's recommendations. So whenever anybody recommends a book, I don't think twice. When I go to bookshops, I always know what I'm going to get because I've listened to people, their recommendations and stuff, and I've totally been sold on that. But then I thought, one day I was just feeling like, let me see, based on my mood, what will I pick? So I ended up picking this book by this author whom I had not heard of at all. So AJ Pearce is a woman. She's a British writer, and the cover of this book really, inspired me to want to read it because it has this vintage stamp on it, which reminds me of World War and things like that. So, and I was right. This book was set during the war, and post this, I ordered the next one in the sequel. So apparently there are 2 books in the sequel, and this is the next one in the sequel. This is Yours Cheerfully. And they're very, very different from each other. I read this in the month of April, and to be honest, I don't know if I would read another one by the same author, because I loved this. This was really sweet and enduring and very feel-good and also historical fiction. So I really enjoyed this. But then when I went on to this with high expectations, somehow it fell flat for me. There were interesting bits in this, but I didn't like it to the extent that, yes, if she wrote another book, I would definitely read that. This book is about, again, Emmeline Lake, who is the heroine of the series. And she is someone who's living in London during the air raids and war of the late 1940s and Second World War. So she's best friends with a person who also featured in the previous book. And this story is more about friendship, I think. And even the bookseller did mention to me that the first book is about World War and the second book is about friendship during the war. So that kind of summed it up. So I was looking forward to learning more about her experience working in publishing and stuff. So that did happen over here, but not as in depth as we get an understanding of her working in publishing here. So this book is really looking at how she is contributing as an editor and what are the things she does to take her career forward, which is pretty inspiring and entertaining. Her role is so different in this book. She was looking at letters closely from people in this book, but here she doesn't really have a chance to do that. So I missed that part of the story in this. So that was the most enduring thing, but that wasn't there. But instead, she was helping with war efforts, being an intern and stuff. It felt a little far-fetched because I don't think anybody can have that kind of a jump and all that in their career. But anyway, maybe it was possible back in the 1940s and things like that. This was super nice, but there were bits and parts and I was a little bit bored. This does explore her love life as well. There's something happening on that angle, and then there's friendship, and then there's her career. So it doesn't have anything much about the war here. It doesn't make you laugh and cry like this book did. I wouldn't recommend this, and I would just rate it maybe, if I rated this 4 stars, I would rate this 2.5 maybe. It was alright. Focuses a lot more on the lives of munitions workers. There was a lot of detail into looking into the lives of women working in the factories, and she makes friends with them, and she's on assignments going to the factory regularly and things like that. But while it gives you a good idea of what life was like for women back in the 40s, I felt like the plot itself wasn't very ambitious. What was it trying to do? The first book had so many different dimensions to it, but I felt the second book kind of maybe fell short in terms of dimensions. So yeah, that's the review of Yours Cheerfully and Dear Mrs. Bird. Highly recommend this one. And if you are still keen to exist in the universe, do read this. But then, you know what I just said, see if it works for you. Otherwise, there's always other books out there. So hope you like this video. I will be back with more content soon. In the meantime, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and also hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified every time I post a video. Let me know what you're reading in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.